Hello, everyone. I am Miss Wildstyle, and welcome to the first episode in the series of this podcast. In this episode, we will be talking about the gaming community and how it affects your mental health. Now, before we get started, I would like to read a couple things to you all that I wrote down. And afterwards, I will open up the floor to whoever would like to start the discussion. But before we do that, I have to invite a couple people into my uh, now I can't even think into the discussion. But anyway, before I start, and yeah, I am going to read a couple things for you guys, and then we'll actually start doing the discussion, this podcast. But before that, I do want to say hello to everybody who is in chat. Um, Hello, Gavin. How are you? Welcome. Hey, Ronnie. How's it going? Hey, Ice. How are you? Hey, Carlos. How are you? Hey, Chris. How you doing? Hey, Daly. How are you? And hello, Father Jack. How are you? So, before, and I know, and Ice is going to have to help me with this because I have absolutely no idea what the hell I'm doing. Do I just copy what I have up there on it and send you the link, Ice? I'm assuming because yeah, I have no idea. Like I said, this is I'm gonna use you as a guinea pig anyway. All right, now see if you can actually enter, and if you can, and then we can get started. And hopefully, I can send it to everybody else who is going to come in. But hey, if you guys want to join, please feel free to tell me, and I will send you guys the link so you can come in as well. I don't know whether you got it, Ice, or not. Waiting.
Hello.
Hello.
And it is working.
Okay. Good.
And yes, you just send that link out.
Okay. So I will have to send one to Chris as well.
And Chris, if you listen to me, all you have to do is allow your mic and put its name to yourself.
All right. And whenever Drake gets back. I will send it to him as well.
And yes, well, you will see them in the ghost form down below. So,
yeah, I know.
like you seen me.
Yep. I had to change my avatar because they were going to give me another avatar, and I was like, no, this is my avatar. All right, add him. There we go.
And if you notice, you do have your chat.
Yep, I can see it. Yep, I can see
And
it.
if we want to say something privately, we just hit the private chat.
Yep.
Hello, Chris.
Howdy. Thanks for the invite.
Yep. No problem.
Okay.
I'll just have to wait to see if anybody else wants to come in. But
I always do this. See how many people I can scare.
you're gonna turn your camera on. Oh my. Yep. There's Santa Claus. Okay. Lord have mercy.
Make sure, hey, TLB.
Hey, TLB, how are you? Welcome.
Good to see you, my friend.
All right, now I'm going to read a couple things before we get started, and then whoever wants to start, the discussion, you can. But like I said, this is actually going to be a series of mine that I'm want to try to do as much as possible. I do want to more or less make this aware of people with like what is going on, especially in a whether you're in a gaming community, whether you're in Discord community, it could be Twitch, could be Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, whatever group you are actually in. Because yes, who are if you're even if you're in a 5M group, yes, it can affect your health, your mental health. And, yes, I want to bring this actually to the table and kind of discuss this to, a lot of people because I know a lot of people, I have heard a lot of people basically say, well, I was in a group and then, I didn't like it because they did this to me or she said this to me, that sort of thing. It's like he said, she said crap going on. But yeah, but anyway, I want to actually come in. Hey, Zombie Gaming, how are you? Welcome.
Doing good, TLB. Good to see you, buddy.
But yeah, I want to read a couple things about it. So basically, I want to read you guys the definition that I came up with because I was doing research today of a gaming community. And what a gaming community is a group of people who come together to share their love of playing video games. It can include players from all over the world or just those in your local area. Now, the key word that I actually liked in there was to share their love of playing video games, which I think is what people should do anyway. And there's something else I actually want to read, which is actually a definition for mental health, which I know so many people actually suffer from nowadays. So, mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well being. It affects how we think, feel, and act. It also helps determine how we handle stress related to others and makes healthy choices. Now, I'm going to actually ask this question, and I know that a lot of people probably will agree, either they'll agree, they'll disagree that somebody who suffers from, like myself, I suffer from anxiety, and severe depression. When I am in a group of people, yes, my anxiety kind of goes over the roof. But see, and my depression will go sky high as well. But that is because when I am in a group, if we're having a discussion and basically you are basically like disagreeing, and yes, we can all agree to disagree because everybody does it, and everybody's disagreeing on something, and it just more or less makes my mental health just I basically just want to leave and just say, you know what, I need time to myself. I can't handle this.
Yep.
You know, it just since I don't really take medication either because I have to handle this by myself. But yeah, it's like I can't handle this. I gotta go away. I gotta be by myself. But in y'all's opinion, do you think that having a gaming community or a community in general is a good thing or is a bad thing for mental health?
I guess it depends on the group that you're in. If you're around positive people, it's a good thing. But in my experience, especially with like COD and 5M, it's very, very toxic. Um, it brings out a lot of the inner demons that I'm personally fighting right now.
Mm-hmm.
I can vouch for mental awareness. I've given a few talks to people in the community. I was diagnosed at a very young age with chronic depression, anxiety. So I understand where you're coming from. If I'm in large groups, I get anxious. I have to get comfortable. It took me a little while when I met you and Ice, for instance. My
Mm-hmm.
anxiety level was way up through the roof,
Mm-hmm.
and once I realized that y'all were good people, and it brought it down. And it's all about who you hang out with. If you got the negative Nancy's in the group, um, it's liable to affect you. And I've been there numerous times. Um, we'll get further along as the show continues, but
Mm-hmm.
I'll kind of give a little more in depth to some of my background with mental my mental awareness and what I've been through. But yeah.
Ice, do you want to say anything about the way that some of the communities, whether it's a gaming community or any other type of community, how it does affect your mental health? Do you think that it is a good thing? Do you think it is a bad thing to have to be in a group when you have, anxiety, when you suffer from depression, when you have any other mental illnesses that affect you? Your mic's not on, Ice, so I can't hear you. Yep, no problem. Well, I think nerves. You're nervous anyway because I'm kind of the same way. When I meet new people,
Yep.
you do get nervous. But once you more or less start talking to people and you start warming up to them, and you know you more or less say, oh, okay, well, this person is okay. They're nice. I can hang out with these people. They understand me. Once you kind of get a kind of mutual understanding towards one another,
Right.
you more or less kind of, and I think the anxiety, yes, it will rise when you do that, but then it will go back down as soon as you figure out, oh, okay, well, this person's all right. Whether it's a guy, whether it's a girl, so.
Right.
Can you
Absolutely.
talk now, Ice?
Testing 1 2, testing 1 2.
There
I
you
can.
go.
Yep.
Yeah. When I turn my mic on or my camera on, it activated mic on. Yep. But as I was saying, I do agree with Chris. It's all depends on the type of group you are trying to hang out with.
hmm
I myself have several different type of mental issues as well. I think everybody in this world has mental issues.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And Father Jack, I'm not on push to talk. Yeah. There are some people that you can have in your group that can bring you down, bring other people down, as well bring the whole group down.
hmm
I've been in some of them type groups.
hmm
I imagine both y'all have too.
Oh yes.
Oh yes.
So y'all know exactly where I'm coming from on that one. But like Chris said here, you basically hang around people that has at least a good uplifting spirit, positive attitude that can actually help people with mental illness.
Oh yeah. And like I said, there are many forms of mental illness. Whether you
Yes.
suffer from anxiety, whether you suffer from depression, you could you could be a schizophrenic. You could have it where, oh well, I don't want to be on camera, kind of like myself. I don't want to show my face on camera. And yeah, a lot of people like, well, you should show your face. And I was actually in a group, and they call themselves the Farm Family, which I think if you're a family, you should more or less stick together, whether you want to or not. I mean,
Absolutely.
Because if you're gonna call yourself family and you're gonna be in a group like this and you're gonna say, hey, well, we're gonna be a family and all this, yeah, you need to more or less stick together no matter what.
Yep.
Yes, you do.
And I have been in a number of groups, communities, where yes, they were nice in the beginning, but then they showed their true colors very quickly, and it kind of went downhill. I was thrown under the bus by a couple of people in a group, so that's one reason why I left that group. I went into another group that didn't work out, so it's just like, what, for me, I don't mind being in a group or in a community, but I just, if I'm going to be in one, I think that people need to be treated equally no matter what.
Yep.
Well, we got a surprise guest in the chat there. You see?
A surprise guest.
Yeah, one we ain't seen. Yes.
Blake. Yeah.
Hello, Blake. How you doing, buddy? Long time no see.
Hey, Taz, how are you? Anybody else that I missed? Hey, Wookie, how are you? Hey, Marriott, how you doing? Hey,
But
ma'am,
yeah,
everybody.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go
um,
ahead.
but you're absolutely right. If you're a part of a group and they say your family, like for me, I'm not really close with my real family.
Hmm.
Mama Sharon and Squirrel are like family to me. And I've been screwed by a few people myself that were like, "Oh, you're like a brother to me," but yet they
Hmm.
get the favoritism and leave me out to hang to dry, knowing my situation and things that I'm going through.
Yeah.
If you're gonna say that word, the family, I take it very seriously. Like when I
Yep.
call somebody a brother
Hmm.
or a sister, I mean it. Like that's how like Hash is my bro from another mother. Same
Yeah.
thing with Drake.
Yeah.
Um, if I call you my bro, you're family,
Hmm.
and regardless of what you do, I might get upset, but I ain't gonna just leave you that out to hang to dry. And I think that's a lot of the problems today. People don't know how to express their emotions and be
Yeah.
able to verbally talk about things without yelling or shouting or putting you down or putting me down, putting ice down
Oh, yeah.
without repercussions.
Yep.
No. No.
And people aren't being held accountable for their actions. And when you do call them out, you're the bad guy. And then
Yes.
Hmm.
that's where your mental awareness it brings you into a depressive state. Like your mind, like my mind goes 1,000 miles an hour.
Hmm.
So let's say, for instance, something happened and Ice said something to me, and I'm like, oh damn, like that's gonna get me thinking, and then I'm gonna get in this depressive state. My
Oh,
anxiety
yeah.
is gonna go up. I'm not gonna want to do anything. And depending on the extent of, I've had people put me down so bad where I literally went out and played in traffic. I've
Mm.
tried jumping off a bridge. I've tried
Mm.
hanging myself.
Hmm.
People are just, excuse my French, but they're fucking cruel.
Oh,
They
yeah.
are.
Yep, they are.
They're
Well,
cruel.
because
I
they
think.
only, and to be honest with you, I mean, and I agree with you, Chris, they are cruel. But to be honest, and I'm not trying to basically hurt anybody's feelings by saying this, it's like they're only out for number one, and they don't really care about anybody else.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, there are jerks out there who will do that to you, no matter what.
Yep.
Hey, Chris, if I may pull, use you from the other day.
Sure.
You remember what happened the other day, right?
Yeah.
With yourself.
Hmm.
Did I not actually reach out to you and tell you to come into voice chat?
You did.
And you did, and we sat there and talked.
Yep.
We didn't discuss issues, but we were just talking like we are right now, just
Hmm.
having general conversation,
Yep.
and it's pretty much calmed you down.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, I
Meanwhile,
mean,
good about that.
oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, you do, and I will agree with what DP says. You do have to have positive people because it does help with people who suffer from anxiety, people who suffer from depression, because it helps them. If you are positive towards somebody else,
Hmm.
that actually shows that person, hey, this person is, nice. But there are people out there that are, as I say, false. Uh, pro- uh, I'm trying to think. They're pretenders. Let me put it that way. They
Yes.
will pretend to be nice to you, but then all of a sudden it's like they will turn around, they will show you your true colors, and then right then and there you will know exactly what kind of person they are. So it's more or
Yep.
less they are pretending towards people. And the only reason they're doing that half the time is just to get attention. They
Yep,
just
Yep.
want people
attention
around them.
getters.
Yeah, they want to be the popular one. Yeah, hey, if you're going to act like that towards people, you're not going to be that popular. That's for sure.
I call those people wolf in sheep clothing.
Yep. Oh
Yep.
yeah, they are. They are
Yep.
definitely.
Hello,
And hello,
CBW.
hello DP, and hello CBW. Hello Wild Fox. How are you? But yeah, yeah, they are wolf in sheep clothing because there are so many people out there, and it's not just people who are online. I mean, there are people who, when you go out, when you basically, even if you go to a grocery store or whatever, people pretend to be nice, even though in fact they
Mm-hmm.
are not. They
Yep.
are the complete opposite of what somebody would think that they are. So I mean, yeah, and it is cool. I was actually, and I'm not ashamed to say this, I was involved with a guy, and it's been several years ago. We were actually engaged, but he treated me like shit. But see, when we first met, he was just oh so nice and polite, and I thought, oh well, maybe this is the guy for me. Well, he did a complete 360 on me, and he basically showed me who his true colors were, and it was just like, yep, I am backing out of this relationship. I am getting the hell out of here. And it was another incident happened when I was 13, which actually pretty much started my anxiety. And then my depression started after that, and then when I got engaged to this guy who basically just treated me like shit, and I was just like, yep, I'm out, I'm gone. That's the type of person that I don't, I hope that I never meet a guy like that before. I mean, again, because if I do,
I
it's
bet.
like, it's gonna like kind of in a middle, it will destroy me
Yep.
mentally, so, and I have been down a road where I have basically, yeah, I don't want to live. I'm done with all this. But see, in fact, I had what I like to call as a guardian angel, more or less say, no, you got to live on. You got things to do. You got a purpose here on earth. So, it's like, okay. And when I was a teenager, I went through this very severe depression era where it was from, I think it was like 13 till probably like 18 years old. And then when I turned 18, it was just like, okay. I woke up one morning and I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to kill myself. And I more or less changed my attitude about it. And I was actually a lot happier.
Yep.
And then this year actually, earlier this year, when my mom passed away, I more or less, my depression came back. And it was just like, how am I going to do this? But,
Mm.
thanks to ICE, thanks to other people like you, Drake, everybody else who basically comes, Father Jack was there for me. There were so many people who were there for me. And it was just like, yeah, they need me as much as I need them, and
Yeah.
it more or less made me realize
Hey,
that,
Bex.
hey, I need these people and they need me, so I need to stick around more.
Yeah.
So, and
Yeah.
Indeed.
and it's people like that who basically like y'all that kind of make me like, I get up in the morning, it's just like, hey, I have friends, I have family, you know and I have you guys, which I consider everybody who basically I meet. Yeah, you guys are my family, no matter what. So, and yeah, we give each other a hard time, but hey, we're a dysfunctional family, but we are the best family out there, in my opinion.
Well, my helmet comes with sparkles. Just saying.
Of
Some.
course it does.
Oh, there he is, the pasteless ass hat. There's my brother Drake.
Oh my
What's up,
goodness.
son of a bitch?
What are you doing?
Sitting here talking. But
Look like
yeah,
he's sitting on his ass.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But and another form of mental, and a lot of people don't know this. I myself, I used to do stand-up comedy back in the day, and I make fun of myself a lot. You'll hear it in my streams when I was doing stand-up. It's a form of dealing with your mental depression. I make fun of myself, how I look. Like I'll make fun of how skinny I am because I grew up. People made fun of me all the time. Like, well, I do look like a white pasty Ethiopian guy. But it's a form of getting, like, if it makes you guys laugh, it kind of makes me feel a little bit better, if that makes sense,
Oh
because you
yeah.
guys are
Yeah.
laughing, so I start laughing. So then it kind of gives me a temporary relief. So I'm sure you guys are kind of do the same thing, maybe a little bit. You might make a joke at yourself and in your group, and everyone chuckles, and then you kind of put a smile on your face, and it's like, oh yeah, that was kind of funny.
No, it's all directed to Drake.
Yeah, or that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It usually is.
Well, I mean, you have to be in a somewhat positive community in order to basically, feel a little bit better about yourself. Now, me, when I do streams, yes, I run into everything. I run off cliffs. I flip horses. I trash cars and stuff. But hey, that is something I do for people's entertainment to get them laughing, and it makes me laugh too. And I mean, if you guys are laughing, then that makes my day right
Mm-hmm.
there. You
Mm-hmm.
know. So I more or less try to do as much as I can when I do play games because I like doing it. And, it's kind of like when we do Human Fall Flat. Yeah, that makes me laugh too because, I mean, we're just doing all this silly stuff. Yeah, we're having to figure out what we got to do in the puzzle. But hey, at times you got to be silly, especially
Yep.
when playing games. You can't be serious all the time. So,
Especially when you're all fighting over holding each other's wood
Yeah.
yeah,
or
exactly.
trying to throw ice in the fire
Yeah, exactly.
or throwing
do
Greg
wanna-
off the cliff.
I do want to say one thing to Beck. Beck, I just read your comment there, and I do agree with you. Actually, when I first met Wild, I was shy. I'm still on the shy side,
Mm-hmm.
but I do
Bull crap!
take it. Hey, Drake, get back on your damn rack, son.
Yeah, you're in trouble.
But being around people that you can joke around with, have fun with, like the four of us here, that help on that shyness. And being in a good group will help that.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. I mean, you have to more or less be in a good group. Like I said, you got to be in a group that is full of positivity. You can't. I mean, you may have a person in there that's one of a sour apple, and basically it's like, well,
Yeah,
I
Drake.
don't want you bringing, I don't want you bringing everybody down. So you're gone. That way, at least the positivity would actually stay because you always have one. You always got one in a
Oh
group,
yeah,
and it doesn't matter.
I had. Speaking of that, every now and then, I don't know if you've experienced this yet, but when you do your streams and people comment on your streams, I had one the other day. I woke
Hmm.
up at like 5 a.m. There was a comment from somebody I've never seen in my chat, never seen him around in anything, never commented. And it was the short that I did where Jeffrey crashed his truck on that convoy we did the other day. And somebody said, "Oh, well, one day when you grow up, you'll be able to drive a truck and actually work." So I didn't even respond to him. Like, I'm done with these fools. Like, I just removed the comment and blocked them from the channel.
Yeah,
And
'cause
that's
some of us
what you have
can't
to
work.
do.
Oh
Huh?
yeah,
I said some of us can't even work,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
They don't even
and
don't owe them an explanation. Just delete them.
yep. But
Remove them.
Well,
going
and
on
then
what you were just saying there, like I was saying, some of us can't work. Some of only way we can actually enjoy ourselves, enjoy the life we have, is through video games and
Yep.
other people just like us.
oh
Yep.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I will have people who will comment and say, "Oh, well, you did a good job on the stream" and stuff like that, which is fine. And then I'll get some people who basically will come in and basically say, "Well, I've done this game, and I played this game, and I have my own channel. I actually, and he's never been in my streams before, and I've never seen him before in my life. And he will comment on some of my streams, and he'll basically say, "Well, I played this game that you played, and I have my own channel, and to
Oh.
me." When somebody says that, it's like, okay, well, they want me to go over there and sub to them, which is
Out the
big
door.
big red
Bye-bye.
flag for me. It's like,
Yep.
nope, I'm not gonna do it. But
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, as long and I don't care if people will come on now. I'll even have people who will come on who don't even speak English. And
Mhm.
I've
Yeah.
I've told Ice this many times. I'm like, I don't know what this person said, so I usually actually have to Google translate it, and I
Well,
Google translate.
if I'm there, I'd usually do it for her.
And I
Yeah.
and I and I did one of them, and I told Ice about it, so he actually went on there and Googled it, and it's pretty much the same thing. And it was just like, okay, but I think it was what was Russian or something that this guy was speaking.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I was like, come on now.
Yeah.
Like if you hear somebody speak English, like why are you going to? And I have had people come into my streams and basically talk to me, and I'm like, okay, but some of them they act like they will talk like they are. And I'm not trying to say it. They may have a speech impediment. And I'm not judging
Broken
anybody.
English.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, broken English, or they speak like a 2-year-old. Put it that way. But but yeah, I mean, they will basically come in. They'll say, "Hey, how you doing?" And I like your stuff. And of course, I had somebody come in and basically one time and basically say, "I want you to say this and this and this. I want you to curse on your stream." And I was like, "Well, I'm going to say what I want. I'm not going to curse if I don't want to." And then
Yep.
immediately they went off my stream and went on to somebody else's and just said hi to them and didn't even bother coming back to me. And then, of course, the next time I saw them, they come on and said, "Oh, I just love your channel." I'm like, okay,
Bye-bye.
yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Hello, Paul. How are you? Welcome. Hey, Mouse. How you doing? Welcome.
So
Now, we are not actually talking about any specific person.
yeah. So what I had to do, because when I first started, people were doing that. Drake can attest. I used to have people come into my chat telling me, trying to spoil games or telling me,
Mhm.
oh, I should do this or that. No. Nope. If I want to put a poll up for not that kind of poll, Drake, but uh,
Get your mind out of the gutter, Drake.
normally when I want to hear from the community, I'll put a poll up and I'll ask, like, this is what I'm getting ready to do. Would you guys like to see it? Yes or no? And judging off their answers, then I'll base off of, do I still do it or do I not do it? But if you get them a-holes that come in there and just advertise their channels and stuff, they're gone, because they're not there. They're not there to support you. They're just there to get their channel up, and that's a no-no. That is a number one no-no, because it, for me, it raises my anxiety. Like I can feel the heat rushing up in my head when that happens. I'm like,
Yep.
are you serious right now? So you just gotta crack the whip and just get rid of those bad apples.
Yep.
Exactly. I mean, I've had people basically come on my stream and basically say, "Well, you need to do it. You need to do your game this way. You need to do it.
Do it how you like."
Yeah, you need to play it a certain way." And it's like, if you're going to play a game, play the game way you want to play it. Don't play it the way that everybody else tells you to play it. And that's pretty much, Isis basically has told me that. She's like, well, just play the game you want to play and just play it the way you want to play it.
Yep.
And, and he's right, because you can't make everybody happy. You got to make yourself happy first before you make anybody else happy. And my mother always used to tell me that. It's like, well, you're not going to make everybody happy in this world. You have got to make yourself happy before you do any of that other happiness. And I'm like, yeah, And I didn't want to do that. And for a long time, I was like that. I was like, I just didn't want to. I wanted to make everybody else happy except for myself.
Yep.
And that's what made me so miserable and depressed. And I was just like, I cannot do this anymore. So the older I got, I realized, you know what? I'm just going to make myself happy. And if nobody else likes it, oh, well, they can go somewhere else,
Well, so I'm going to expose myself here a little bit more about my mentality. For me, it's hard to express how I feel because the way I grew up, I wasn't allowed to express myself. So that's where a lot of my problems stem from. So I'm a people pleaser, but I'm slowly starting to learn that these shit dicks aren't gonna go away, and you got to deal with them. And somebody in my statue, like I'm 40 years old. I'm learning how to cope, and I've tried therapy. I've tried psychiatrists, and they sit there and doodle on their little pads, drawing whatever the hell, maybe Drake tied to a pole. I don't know. But I'm learning.
Well.
But yeah, sorry, Drake. So for me,
Alright.
it's very hard because I'm always afraid that, and I'm speaking out of experience on this because even as of like right now, as in today or yesterday, in the present time, I've got a couple people that will come in and be like, "Oh, I guess I'm not this or I'm not that," and just total guilt trip you, and then of course you feel like a piece of crap because you're speaking your mind,
Mm-hmm.
and then they come in and they play these freaking mind games with you, knowing
Yep.
that what they're doing is
Mm-hmm.
wrong. And Drake has been witness to this numerous times. And hi, Sassy, how are you? Um, and it seems like
Hello, Sassy.
in another community, I'm only wanted around when it benefits them for
Yep.
content,
Yeah.
or
Mm-hmm.
when they
Oh, yeah.
somebody drops out of their group. Then
They
Hell
they
yeah.
just they just want you there to make themselves look better.
yep,
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. And I've been that way, but I haven't really been that way on the internet. I've been that way in real life with people, and I'm just like, no, I'm not gonna be your friend just so it make you look better and feel better.
yeah. Hey, OG, you ready for your
And
boiling pot?
I want to say something on about the games, the way people play them. There are some people that like to use mods. Some people like using cheat codes,
Mm,
console commands. The way I see it, the game is for entertainment.
mm-hmm.
The way
Mhm.
you play it entertains you.
Mhm.
It ain't supposed to entertain the world. The way
Yep.
you play it, way you play it. For
Yep.
example, if take human fall flat. All all of us got it, even though we hadn't had a chance to play with Chris on it, but he can play it a different way than I do.
Mhm.
Yep.
And if I try to help him on it, he might look at it and say, yeah, that might work.
Yep.
Then again, he could think, oh, you don't know what the hell you talking about. Get the fuck out of here. But the point is, play the
Hmm.
way you want to play it. If you want to use cheat codes, use cheat codes. If you want to use mods, use mods.
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
It's
only
all for entertainment.
the only
Exactly.
thing I don't condone as far as cheating is like with COD, aimbot
Yeah. Anything on
or wall
multiplayer.
hacks. Yeah,
Yeah, or wall hacks.
wall hacks or teleporting to get a one up on you. That kind of cheating is a no go. But
Yeah.
Mhm.
Multiplayer, no. You don't want to cheat on
yeah,
multiplayer.
but I'll get human fall flat here on Steam eventually. But
Yeah.
so we can play and y'all can throw me off the cliff or smack me with your wood or set me on fire. I probably deserve it,
And
but
hello, Sassy. How you doing, girl?
but
Uh,
uh, but yeah, everybody plays games differently, but
yes, they do.
you know, and unfortunately, in today we have keyboard warriors who like to troll people, but
Hmm.
Mhm.
we have to start learning to ignore them
Oh yeah.
because if we allow them to sit there and talk crap about our videos,
Yep.
try to put us down, they win.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And getting back to the games again, you know, it was brought up that people love trying to tell people how to do things,
Yep,
which is going back to the keyboard warriors.
yep,
Um, for example, I've been a fireman. I'm a retired fireman, retired EMT. I play fireman games. Wild knows this. Drake seen me to it,
Mhm.
and I do it the way I was trained on how to put fires out. People try their damnedest to tell me how to do it modern way. Well, back in the 80s, we done it a specific way. We don't do it the way they do it nowadays, but it still does the same job.
Yeah. If that like you said, I don't mean to interrupt you guys,
Go
but I
ahead.
mean the way that you were taught how to actually be a fireman, how to be a would you say EMT, um how you were taught to be that. That's how it's more or less engraved in your brain. It's kind of like any job that a person does. Yes, it kind of engraves in their brain on how somebody teaches you how to do this. And, when people more or less play games, yes, there are people out there who basically will take the game a little bit too seriously. And, you know, and for those people, I just say, hey, you have to, realize this is not real life. It's
Yep.
a game. Now, for example, I would like to bring up the game 5M.
Yep.
There are a lot of people who are in a community like that, and many communities that do 5M, and they will basically try to imitate real life and bring it in 5M, which, I can understand. Yeah, it's a role playing game and all this, but still, I mean, you have to basically realize that is a game. You're sitting in front of a computer playing a game. You're not doing anything. It's
Yep.
like you're not up and you're not physically doing it. You're just at a computer, like punching keys or whatever. And a lot of people have to more or less just say, and to all these people, I just want to say, especially people who take games just way too seriously, don't take them that seriously. Please don't take them that seriously, because
Yep.
it's just a game. At the end of the day, it's a game. It doesn't
Yep.
matter whether you win or lose. It's just a game.
I'm going to point out something that Father Jack said. He actually called me out on this.
Hmm.
I'm going to read this word for word for what Father Jack read or
Hmm.
typed.
Hmm.
Actually, I am choking up because of it. I remember back in the day, Grandpa Blue Ice Gaming taught me how to drive ATS. And now Ice didn't have to do that. So that was a gaming community should be. Agreed, Father Jack. We should help each other.
Hmm.
If you don't want to help people, then don't put your 2 cents in there.
Yep.
Yep.
If you see
Exactly.
somebody trying to help somebody and you have a possibility of making something easier for the person that's learning, then feel free. Put your 2 cents in it.
Hmm.
If it's going to hinder the person that is teaching it or helping the person or, make it a lot more difficult, go somewhere else and tell somebody else.
Yep.
Hmm. Exactly. Exactly.
Go to somebody
And
else that'll actually not give a crap.
Yep.
yep. Yep, exactly. Hello, Sabby. How are you?
Hey, Sabby.
And Gomer, hello. How are you?
Hello, Zeno.
Hello, Zeno. How you doing? Anybody else who I've missed? I do apologize. Was there anybody
Jeff
else?
Gomer, Zabby,
Mhm.
Zeno.
But I will attest to this. 5M is a
And
very
and Cindy. Sorry, I do apologize. Hello, Cindy.
I didn't see that one.
5M is a very toxic. It's almost as bad as LSPDFR, which I'm not a fan of anymore because the game just is absolute shit. But I've been in a couple communities, and I'm a 5M dev myself, and I put up with a lot of crap when I had my old server, and I had people telling me what I should and shouldn't do with my server. I'm like, are you paying for this?
Mm,
Are you doing any of the dev work? And
yeah.
they'd get all pissy with me, and I'm like, well, see ya.
Yep. Exactly.
Doing all right.
I mean, because you do well. I mean, you don't really need if you have a server and you're paying for it. I don't know why anybody wants to complain about the way that people are playing on it or what they're doing on it, what they're putting on there. Because, like you said, and I agree with Chris, you're not paying for it. So, why are you telling me all this, stuff?
Mhm.
It's like, no, don't, if I invite, because, if I had, which I'm not a big fan of 5M, I'll tell you that right now. But if I had something like that, and I invited people on there, I expect them to be as, polite. I expect them to be respectful towards everybody else. And if they can't do that, then you're gone. I don't care who you are.
Yep. And they really get to see you. You haven't had the luxury of meeting McJevis yet.
Oh Lord.
McJevis is my alter ego, but I've made him into a 5M character, and he's very unruly, but he's funny.
Mm-hmm.
And I recently made his wife, and I played it out that he forgot because he's a 76-year-old man, and he forgot that he was fucking married. And Dina is just as bad as he is, and I do the little voice, and I broke a couple people's characters quite a few times with the crap that she was saying. Hey, Sabby, but you got to have fun with it. You know, like you said, it's a game.
Yeah.
And, you know, like my server, it was all about realism, but there was a few people in there, and Drake can attest, they took it one step too far. And when I said no, they were throwing temper tantrums like a 2-year-old. And I'm just like, you know what? I walked away from it. Said, see ya.
Yep. I'm gonna bring something Mouse just basically said. He said he had somebody come in his stream one day and start from the Middle East and start saying that he gonna go and kill. I guess it was Mouse. He can correct me or not, but from the way I read it, the Middle Eastern said that he was going to kill Mouse and just crap like that. I put it this way, Mouse, this is towards you and for anybody else. You are sitting behind the screen. Nobody can't touch your ass unless they know where you physically live at.
Exactly. That's one reason, and I don't mean to interrupt you, Ice, but that is one reason why when somebody asks me like, "Oh, well, where are you from?" and I'll say, "Well, I'm from the USA," and then they'll say, "Okay, well, I know you're from the USA, but where are you from in the USA?" I will tell them the state I live in, but I'm not going to tell them the city I live in because technically it's none of your business. Now, if you become what I like to call as a friend that I can trust, yes, then I will give you my address. But I'm not going to do that just because somebody won't come in. Because I actually had somebody come into my stream and basically say, you know, "Oh, you got such a pretty voice. Where are you from? What city do you live in?" And I was like, "Well, I come from the States." And he was like, "Okay, well, I know you come from the States because of your voice." He's like, "Well, but where do you live?" And I'm like, "Well, I come from Virginia." And then he wanted to know like what city I was in. I'm like, "Well, I'm not going to go that far." And then he asked for my phone number, and I'm like, "Well, I'm not going to give you my phone number because I don't know you." You know, like I said, unless you are an absolutely good friend to me and I trust you, no, I'm not going to tell you any of that stuff. Absolutely not.
Yeah. So, I kind of had somewhat of a similar experience when I first started YouTube as Mouse's experience. Somebody threatened me and actually DDoSed and found out like where I was living at. At the time, I was living in upstate New York. And he comes in up into my chat and he's like, "Well, I know where you live and stuff and this and that." And I was like, "Well, first and foremost, I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to tell you this once. You might know where I live because you DDoxed me, but I dare you to show up at my doorstep. I promise you, you won't leave. So if you want to be that person, come on down. I'll live stream it."
But getting back to what I was saying, you're basically behind the screen. Unless you give them your home address and stuff like that. Or they, like Chris was saying, DDoS you and get that information. Unless they come knocking on that door and you go answer that door, that's the only time you're going to have physical harm towards you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But there is thing that is called a telephone.
Yep.
And 911 here for the United States. Other country, you have other numbers set for emergency services.
One of my favorite sayings to go along with what Ice is saying with the phone at 911. That's when I would get on the phone and be like, 911, what? Well, send the police out here. You know, I got somebody at my doorstep. And while you're at it, send an ambulance too, because they're going to need it.
Yeah.
So.
But,
well, I mean,
you got to be careful nowadays.
Yes, you do.
Oh yeah, because I've actually seen this, and of course I haven't seen this in real life, but I have actually seen, and I'm not sure whether these videos are actually true, somewhat, but I have seen like some people who are actually big time YouTubers who are up like, you know, they have like 1 million subscribers, or they have over 1,000 subscribers or whatever, and they basically are like, well, somebody showed up in my house. You know, all because, yes, they had their address in because they had like a description, they had their address in there.
Yep.
It's just like, okay, well, that's your fault for actually putting your address in there in the first place. Otherwise, they wouldn't have showed up at your house. So yeah, you got to be careful with that.
Yep.
You have to be careful with like giving your phone number out, giving your address out. Now, if it was somebody, like your doctor or whatever, yeah, you're going to give them your address and phone number. But if it's a total stranger, like somebody on the internet, no, you're not going to do that.
Yeah.
For example, I won't give Chris or Drake my address till I get to know them a lot better.
Yeah.
Wild got my address. I've known her for at least good 10, 15 years now.
Yep, exactly.
Now, come on, Ice. I need to come pay you a visit.
Hey, Drake,
He just wants to get on the rack.
you see this? Set out and twist, son.
Ooh.
About all you good for.
Oh my goodness. You're welcome, Cindy.
And Drake, I tell you another thing. I got a damn sword sitting right over here that got your name on it here if you come.
Oh my.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. You said you got a sword?
Yes.
If he comes.
Yeah, if he decided to come. Cause I won't cut it right off.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, he got it. He got it. Sorry, that was inappropriate. My bad. We needed a serious laugh session there for a second.
I knew where you was going with that, buddy.
I'm good. That is one good thing I am good for. I'm at any given random time I can just crack a joke just like that.
I'm the same way. You seen that?
Oh,
I
thank
can
you,
take
Drake.
it just as good as I can give it.
Drake just gifted me a Human Fall Flat on Steam.
You're welcome, buddy.
Great. Congratulations.
Hey.
Don't go grabbing my wood or nothing.
Oh, he's gonna grab your wood first thing, buddy.
Well,
he already grabbed mine on there.
I want to point out something that Father Jack said to you, Ice. Have you only got one finger, Ice?
No, I got 10. I just use that one to express myself. Better than that one.
Yeah.
Why should I give you the bird when you can have the feather?
Oh.
I won't touch that one. I'm gonna leave that one alone. I'm trying to behave myself here, guys.
Hey, I have 10 too. I just don't know where 5 of them are.
You have 10 of them too? Okay.
Well, I mean, if you stop. Well, okay. So he jerked off one too many times and lost his
gosh.
Everybody we love bantering each other like this. We ain't mad at each other.
No, not at all.
We do this even behind closed chat.
There's been times though, people have been in my chat, they thought like me and Drake were full blown arguing with each other. I'm like, no, this is how we really talk to each other.
Yeah.
They're like, wow, are you guys like pissed at each other? I'm like,
hang on just a minute. Wild, Sassy asked you a question there.
May I share my link as well? Yeah, you can go ahead and share it.
Go ahead.
Anybody who is basically in my chat, please feel free to go over there and give her a like, give her a sub, because she does some great content, people. I mean, she's really good. But yeah.
In sign language, that is funny. Wait, is that really true?
What, that? Yeah.
That's sign language of flipping somebody
off?
Yeah,
the same thing this is.
Fuck you!
Well, if you make it into somewhat of a J, that's sign language too for J. Yep. See, I have a
and this right here.
I have somebody in my family who is deaf, and I had to basically learn like the alphabet in some. And I do know some sign language, but I don't know a lot.
I know the basic ABCs on it.
Oh yeah.
I do know some of the more complex one, like that and.
Oh yeah. But as YouTubers, when you're streaming, we want to be I'm not professional at all. I destroy my streams every time. It don't ask Drake. Every game I play, I've destroyed somehow. But
well, it's not just you.
yeah. Sometimes we get carried away and miss wild streams, but
yes, it starts out innocent enough in my streams, but then it immediately turns to that S word. And what I mean by S word, everybody, I mean sex.
let's get it on.
Same thing that Drake don't know nothing about, but he got 1,000 kids and 5,000 wives.
Let's see.
Oh, yeah, and
Oh my
5,000
goodness, there we
wives.
go again.
This right here is what we're talking about. When we can sit here, the four of us, and make fun of each other, laugh.
Mhm.
That's the kind of community you want to surround yourself because
Yes, you do.
you're having a bad day. These are the people that you want to be surrounded by.
Uh-huh.
It was most entertaining way. Today's was, oh yeah. Sin was
That's going back
traumatized.
to what I was saying about the other day. Chris was having a bad day. I found out about it. I told him to get his ass up in here. And basically, the three of us got him laughing.
Yeah.
That's when Chris found out how bad I am.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, my mental health right now is not good. But I'm trying to I wake up every day. I feel grateful that I wake up every day somewhat. But
Well,
there's times where and I don't want anyone to think that what I'm about to say that I'm going to act on it. This is just
You better not act on it.
this is how I feel sometimes. Drake, I've even messaged him. There's days where I feel like A, either putting a bullet in my head, or B, I want to get hit by a car and just be done.
Mhm.
Because the littlest thing, because my whole life I've struggled. I've never had anything come easy, but I still get up every day. I still push. I'm half disabled. I can't use my right hand. Not yet, anyways.
So yeah,
I've had doubts where I hate going to grocery store. I hate going outside because people look at me, and they're like, "But you're so young. But what the fuck is wrong with you?" They're so judgmental.
Mhm.
And there's days where I don't even want to come like out of bed because somebody will say something to put me down. And the first thing I want to do is just like, you know what? I've had enough. There's a limit.
Oh, yeah.
And anybody that has attempted or has thoughts about it, except for the ones that just cry wolf and want the attention,
Mhm.
I dislike those people because they don't want to do it. They're just
Yep.
a woe me.
Mhm.
But I have chronic depression. I have anxiety. I've survived 3 strokes. You know, my mom passed away back in 2015, Alzheimer's and dementia. My brother passed away back in 2020. He was hit and killed by a drunk driver. The person only did 3 years in jail and got out on good behavior.
Chris, while you're taking a pause, I'm going to say something. Me and you both got a compliment just a few moments ago from Miss Sassy.
I see that.
She called us cute.
Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you, Sassy.
But yeah, mental awareness is no joke, people. Like, my dad always used to tell me it was in my fucking head that,
I hate that.
Mhm. I've had people tell me my anxiety. I actually had somebody basically say that, oh, it's because I have anxiety. Well, that's just in your head.
Yep.
No, technically it's not. It is. It is. They do call it a mental disease, but it is also a nerve disorder because I do my research. I know these things, and it's now depression. Yes, that's also a mental disorder, but and a lot of people have it. But you just and I've had so many people tell me this, like you have to keep going no matter what.
Yep.
no matter what.
Yes, you do.
And I have had people, and I will say this, and I'm not ashamed to basically say this to anybody who is watching and to any of y'all, that I have trouble walking. So I have to use a walker in order to get around.
Yep.
I cannot walk without it.
Yep.
And I actually go out in public and people will basically look at me like, okay, you're young. Why are you using a walker? Well, they don't
Yep.
really know me. I actually had a couple. I went out one time and I was going to the store and I was walking in the parking lot and there was this old couple that was basically in a car looking at me, giving me this puzzled look like, okay, you're young. Why are you walking with a walker? And they just looked at me. And of course, my youngest nephew was with me. And we kind of looked at each other. And my nephew was like, don't pay no attention to him. And then later he says, you should have just told them to go fuck themselves. And I was like, no, I'm not going to be that rude to anybody. And if people keep doing it to me, though, I am going to walk up to them and say, hey, would you like to take a picture? It might last longer.
Yeah. Yep. People and
Right.
see, and that's the problem with today's society. People are so quick to judge others by your appearance,
Yep.
Yes, they do.
and they don't know what you're going through. I flipped
Hmm.
out on people in the grocery store. I don't like people walking behind me, and there's a reason behind that because I had a traumatic experience at 13, going on 14 years old. But I don't want to. I
No.
don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
But I hate it when people walk behind me, and I get very nervous.
I do too.
So I step away, and then they look at me. They're like I have a third eye or something, and I'll be like, you know,
Hmm.
especially the younger generation. I don't really have issues with the older generation. Once in a while, like you, I'll get an old person looking at me walking with a cane. I'll be like, "Oh, can I help you?" I'll start
Yeah.
talking like McDevitt. I'll start talking like an old man. I'm like, "Can I help you? You want to
Hmm.
take a picture? You want me to pull my pants down and have you kiss my ass?" 'Cause I'll do it. But
Well, I mean, and with me with the walking with the walker, yes, I do get embarrassed out in public because, yeah, and I will say my age, and yeah, everybody. Well, some people probably already know how old I am, and I've told them, but yeah, I'm 46 years old, and I have to walk with a walker, and yes, that is young for a young. That is young. Usually, you think of somebody with a walker as somebody like in their 70s or 80s, but like I said, I have trouble walking. I cannot walk
yep,
due to the fact that I have plantar fasciitis on one of my foots, and then on one of my knees, I actually have severe arthritis, and then I have a bad back. So that's pretty much why I have to more or less, walk with a walker. I have to walk with a walker inside sometimes too. So, I mean, it is very difficult for me to walk, but, and I'm not ashamed that I have to do that. It's just something that I have to do, you
yeah.
know?
Yeah, you
Well,
shouldn't be ashamed.
I
No.
mean, I was really embarrassed when my brother died. I worked myself to death. I used to work for Walmart for 11 years. Worked myself to death to deal with it because um, I wasn't there when it happened, and I took it out on myself.
Hmm.
So I was working 60 to 80-hour weeks. There was a couple shifts during the week I worked 36 hours straight,
Hmm.
and it was my coping mechanism. And I went for a walk one day and killed over. Anyways, uh, I had to relearn how to talk. I
Yep.
still have problems talking sometimes, and you'll catch it in my streams or in our conversations. I'll say things backwards. Um, I had to relearn how to walk. I had to relearn how to talk. I was on a walker for almost 7 months,
Hmm.
and so I know exactly how you feel when it comes to that.
Oh, yeah. But
Well,
I mean, and of course, the reason I have a walker, I actually had it because, in the year 2001, I actually was in a car wreck and I broke my back. So I had to have the walker, and I just kept it because the hospital had given it to me. And I'm glad that I actually did keep it because now I actually need it more than ever to actually walk around. Be sure. But I more or less think of, and I'm I have days where I'm in a happy mood, and then I'll have days when I'm like in this really bad
Yep.
mood because I'm thinking
Mm-hmm.
about my mom. I wish she were still here. It's the same way with my dad. Of course, my dad died 34 years ago. I was only 12 years old when he died. He was 45 at the time. He died of a brain tumor. And to this day, I still miss him. I still wish that he was, here. Um, because I wish they both were here. Because, yes, I love my parents.
Yeah.
I love them very much. And they were the type of parents who, they love people, they love to joke with people, they love to have a good time,
Oh.
and they love their kids, so, and, to me, my mom was more or less the rock in the family.
Yep. My
And,
mom was too.
yeah. And then when she passed, it was kind of like, okay, well, now what do I do?
Yep.
So, but I'm learning more or less to stand on my own and to basically stand up for myself and just kind of say, you know what? I, yes, I do need my mom, but I don't need her as much because I can do this. I can do this on my own. I can stand up on my own because, I have what I like to call people family.
Yep.
Like I call you family, I call Ice family, Drake, pretty much anybody who comes into my chat. Yes, they're family and they're there for me. And, that's what I like. And I'm like, hey, I have this huge family, even though I do have family in real. I have my sister.
Thank you, Sassy.
Um, but yeah, I have a huge family who's there for me no matter what, and they have my back no matter what. And the same goes for me. Yes, I have their back as well. So it's
Well.
and that's pretty much what kind of keeps me going is
Mhm.
basically when I do my streams, I see you guys come in, I say, hey, and that's what makes my day. And if I can make you guys smile, if I can make you guys laugh, hey, I've done my job. And it's kind of like with y'all,
Yep.
when I go into y'all streams and y'all do whatever, if you do something silly or whatever, yeah, I'm gonna laugh at it. And yeah, you probably would want me to laugh because that's what you want me to do. You want to entertain everybody, and that's what streaming is. And that is what a community should be. It's a community should be positive. They should make
Yep.
each other laugh. We should be there for one another. And that's pretty much how I think a gaming community is. Whether it's a gaming community or whether it's just a regular community, we should all be there for one another, no matter what. And we're all just one big happy family, dysfunctional but happy.
Well,
you know.
here's a ha moment for you. Because you were talking about your walker. Ice has his cane. I have my cane.
Hmm.
A goal for 2024. We're all going to go shopping one day, and we're going to get in those Mart carts, and we're going to have Mario Kart races. I'm bringing my banana peel. Some.
Oh,
Yeah.
hello, Paul. How are you? Welcome.
Give y'all a little bit of my background. Wild knows this, and I think Drake knows a little bit about it. But where I became pretty much medically retired was at age of 24. Reason I was medically retired, um, I had gout in my feet and knees. If you don't know what gout is, the easiest way I can explain it is take a piece of sandpaper, put it between your hands, and rub. That's basically what gout does to the bones. It will eat the bones up.
You know what I don't mean to interrupt you, Ice, but you know what I would have said if somebody doesn't know gout? I said, well, there's a thing called Google. You can Google it.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
see,
just,
my mother always
in
used
a
to say,
hurry,
yeah, yeah. Well, see, my
it's the
mom always
easiest
used to
way to
say that.
just use the sandpaper analogy.
Oh yeah, oh
Um,
yeah.
I'm 50 years old, getting ready to be 51 this month, tell you the truth. I've been out of work since age 24. I've been on a cane, a walker, in a wheelchair since age of 26. So I know where these people come from when they talk about their handicaps and disabilities. I have quite a few mental issues myself. Actually, I got one that is some people actually think it is a totally different one.
Thank you, Sim.
Um, y'all probably heard of schizophrenia.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's another one with similar name called schizoid personality disorder. And basically, what schizoid is, it's what they call the loner disease. Basically, you want to be alone, by
Mm-hmm.
yourself,
Mm.
Yep.
or in a small pack.
Yep.
Yeah, I see you raising your hand there, Chris. So you know basically where I'm going on that.
Yep.
And you was talking about you can't have nobody behind you. I'm the same way. When I'm standing in line, I have to actually turn 90 degrees to the person that's behind me, or they
Yep.
won't be standing directly behind me.
Yeah.
Cause I always try to keep my surroundings clear. Cause there is a thing called paranoia,
Oh yeah.
and I do suffer from some form of paranoia. So you ever come up behind me? One, you better hope I don't catch you. Two, you better hope you don't never surprise my ass.
Yep.
Cause you will get a cane upside the head.
Well, I guess that's
Oh yeah.
better upside the head and instead of up the ass. I thought that's where you're going with it.
Well, hell, for Drake's, I'm gonna be turning that cane around
Hey, now.
and taking the hook part and going up between the leg and jerking.
I hope you got your knee pads on, sir.
Jeez.
Well, I got two canes and I got a walker. So I mean, if anybody needs a cane or anything, hey, I'll throw it your way, Ice.
That's a lot of shafting.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But I mean,
And
this
Zeno,
this.
I did read your message, and yeah, I will get back with you on that.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I mean, this right here, and this is basically why I'm doing this podcast, is to basically explain to people, to basically show them, hey, you can be in a community, whether it is a gaming community or whether it's just a community. You can be in a community and have a positive vibe no
Yeah.
matter what, as long as you are with people who are positive towards you, towards everybody else in the group.
Unless you got Drake, then you can be negative toward him.
I was just about to say until he takes his shirt off. There, it's like, oh, good Lord, have mercy.
But yeah, if you can be part of a community that you can get along with, have fun in, like the forest having fun here at each
Yeah.
other's expense.
Oh yeah.
More or less
Oh,
at
yeah.
Drake's, but that's no deal. But we all enjoy each other company. We all think the world of each other. And for myself, I will go out and beyond my ability to help each and every one of these people.
Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely.
Wild has seen that happen.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He is. He would literally give you the shirt off his back if he could. And I'm the same way. I want to help people. Yes, I cannot help you financially, but I
Yep.
can help you in other ways. If you are feeling down, yeah, you can come and talk. If you need a laugh or whatever, yeah, come and talk to me. I'll cheer you up as best I can. I'll tell you all about the nudies that somebody sent me the other day. So
Hey, now.
Hang on just a minute. I'm going to address something to Zeno. Zeno, I know you call me a demon. Yes, I am your demon.
Well, speaking of that,
So you
Drake
don't
did,
have point fingers at me.
Drake did post a thing in my Discord yesterday, him flapping his joystick all around.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. He was showing everybody that. So
Son of a bitch.
Then he crawled back on his rack with
uh,
his joystick sticking straight up.
Yeah, yeah.
Lord.
My
But-
But
gosh.
I mean, this pretty much is, I actually like this because you can actually sit down, you can talk about, stuff And this is one reason why I'm doing this podcast, because I'm hoping to do more of it, and I do hope that there I will get more people to come in and basically talk. And if they want to get be on camera, they can. If they don't have to. See, I'm not even on camera. I don't want to be on camera, and I don't have to. But I will talk to people, and this is basically more or less what my podcast is. Yeah, and that's why I titled it "Let's Talk About It," because it's going to be on different things. Whether it's going to be about gaming, communities, whether it's going to be about mental health, whether it's going to be about streams, about people who are being as I call them, trolls, who are basically disrespectful towards other people. So
Well, if I can stop you for a second, I want to address something to Sassy.
Yeah.
Sassy, we are on a program called StreamYards. That's where we're talking at right now. But yes, we do have our own Discord. We all member of our Discord. If you're in Discord, feel free to get up with me. My name here on screen, Grandpa Blue Eyes. You can find me on Discord. If you send me a message, I will send it to the rest of these people, and we can add you to our Discords. And you can come in with us anytime you want.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I didn't stop you there, Wild.
Oh, no. Absolutely not.
Well, Cindy, if you want to, I'll send you the nudie pictures.
Oh.
I see. You're gonna share them now, are you?
No. Not those. It'll be different ones.
Oh, it'll be different ones. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Which
Lord
part? Which head there, Drake?
Oh.
The big one or the small one? Or both of them?
Oh Lord.
Oh
my goodness. Well, on that note, I think I'm actually going to end this stream, unless anybody has anything else they want to address for this
All
episode.
I'm going to say is my final thought on all of this. If you want to be part of a good community, find one that fits your attitude.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Find one that fit your mentality. If you can put both of them in one Discord or one community group, more likely you will have fun in that group.
Yep.
If you can't, I always get up with myself, and I can always give y'all a good barrel laugh.
And he can. He definitely can. But on that note, I do want to give a special shout out to Grandpa Blue Ice Gaming, Drake Sullivan, and Chris for actually joining me on this podcast. I do want to thank everybody who came out, everybody who was in the chat. Thank you guys so much. I do appreciate each and every one of you. There is a donation link in the description down below. If you can, throw a few dollars my way. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome. You guys are great. Thank you, Chris, Drake.
Thank you for having me.
And Ice. Yep.
Thank you.
Yep, you guys are welcome. And on that note, as I say on all of my streams, you guys be safe, be well, be kind to one another, and I'll see you all on the next one.
Okay.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
See ya.